Well, one of Marvel's wildest upcoming projects is Vision Quest, and it's gotten a lot of hype lately, especially with the return of James Spader's Ultron. We talked a couple days ago about how this could be the MCU Tron, taking place in a digital universe. But now it seems like Marvel might have other plans, and it actually sounds to me like another sci-fi classic. So let's dive in. Well, quite honestly, when Vision Quest was first announced, it was kind of one of those series that many fans felt, well, this isn't what we're asking for. And at that point in time, Marvel was doing a lot of that. Now, Marvel has cleaned up the slate, pushed things back, and they're trying to refocus on quality over quantity, which is something, honestly, I think they needed to do. Now, one thing that did raise everybody's eyebrows, though, with the Vision series was the return of James Spader as Ultron. We haven't seen the character since Age of Ultron, although a couple pieces have popped up here and there, but we all know how Ultron generally finds a way back. Now, since then, there's been a lot of other castings. We know Tommy Maximoff is joining the project, and we know Ultron's wife, Jakata, is also part of the series. So it's lining up some pretty interesting Marvel characters. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we did a video kind of speculating that this could be set in a digital world. We found out that many of these characters would not be in costume, and I speculated then it was a cost-saving measure, which we now have confirmed. So the idea of all these cast members being out of costume in live action seemed to work within that framework. But now we've got a new report from Daniel Richtman that actually flips it on its head and reminds me of a completely different sci-fi classic. Now, some of this is spoiler-esque, so this could be a spoiler, so this is your chance to click away if you don't want your viewing experience impacted. Now, what Daniel Richtman is saying is that the Vision Quest series opens with Vision traveling to Madripoor, a place we haven't visited in the MCU since the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And in Madripoor, he actually encounters, get this, a human version of Ultron. Clearly, if Vision finds a human form of Ultron, it's pretty safe to say he found a way to survive the events of Age of Ultron. And that's classic Ultron. He always finds a way back. This is even more interesting because it's not just a regular body, it's an actual organic human body, or maybe even an android hybrid, which would definitely be a unique direction to take the story in. But somehow he's managed to create a new body for himself and maybe for other various AIs created by Tony Stark. Now, there's a lot of speculation he could offer his son the opportunity to also become, quote, a real boy in Madripoor, which apparently will be a haven for human-like androids. Now, this to me absolutely harkens directly to the Battlestar Galactica rebooted series. The sci-fi classic from more than a decade ago saw the return of the Sylons, and typically the Sylons look like, well, giant robots. But we found out in that series there were multiple models that looked exactly like humans. And it seems like maybe Marvel is pulling a page from that. That would be a very interesting take, but I don't know if this actually sticks very long. It's obviously a nice gimmick, but as we speculated before, Richtman is reporting that Marvel is doing this to save money and to accelerate the release of the project so you don't have a lot of post-production time for the CGI. Now, the other big aspect of this in returning to Madripoor is a possibility of another character returning that we haven't talked about in a while, and that's the power broker, aka Sharon Carter. It always seemed to everyone she was working for somebody else, and it would be really, really interesting if she was working for Ultron. That's one of those hanging threads we haven't heard or seen anything about in several years. And honestly, it wasn't something fans were very fond of when it happened, so it would give some rhyme and reason to some of these events. In any case, it sounds like Marvel's doing some pretty interesting stuff with this, and if they can make this work, it really could be a fun series. I'm going to keep a close eye on Vision, and hopefully we have some concrete news very soon. But we're going to have to wait and see. Before we take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC news, and we want to bring you all the news truthfully and transparently, so you're really in the know.